So let me ask you something. But first, this is the Wedge of Aiud. It was discovered in 1974, Aiud, Romania, and the mystery surrounding it is pretty fucking intriguing because due to its proximity to 12,000-year-old mastodon bones at a depth of 30 feet, combined with a thick layer of patina that encased it, officials at the Museum of Natural History in Transylvania initially dated the artifact to around 10,000 BC. But then they did some testing and holy shit were they confused, because spectrum and elemental analysis revealed the wedge to be 89% aluminum, 6% copper, and a 5% mixture of 10 different elements, making this an aluminum alloy, which is weird, seeing as aluminum wasn't discovered until 1829. Now, because it kinda looks like a tooth from an excavator bucket and it was actually discovered by a construction crew, many people concluded that's exactly what this was. However, excavators are made exclusively out of steel, metal, iron, or a combination of the three. Patina cannot be faked through spectrum analysis. They're pretty sure the crew would have noticed if a tooth broke off of their excavator, and if they didn't, the museum would have, and just given it back. But they didn't. They kept it, and they locked it away, which is a really interesting fact about this artifact because you really gotta ask yourself, if it is nothing more than just a modern day excavator tooth, why in the absolute would the museum still have it and keep it locked away from view of the public? That being said, the whole excavator tooth theory was never a viable explanation for the museum. It only became popular among skeptics because, well, I mean, it does kind of look like one, and that's super fucking convenient. All of that being said, it's the patina covering this thing that really freaks out the smart people, because when it comes to a spectrum analysis scan and an elemental test, you can't fake this shit, and the only way you get an inch of patina to cover an aluminum object is, well, leave it outside for about 10 to 12,000 years. Oh, and finding it within the vicinity of a bunch of bones from a mastodon which went extinct around the turn of the Ice Age, well, that doesn't hurt your case either. Now this is where things get a little ancient alien-y, because one of the more popular theories as to what this object could be is that it is part of a landing gear from an extraterrestrial spacecraft, which, I know, to many is shitballs crazy, but well, makes a little bit of sense, right? I mean, that is the one thing we actually use aluminum for today is our aircrafts, because yes, it is durable, but it is also flexible, which is the last thing you want when you're breaking through rocks and earth. Now, there is one more element about this mystery that, yes, is 100% speculation. However, it is still incredibly intriguing because if we travel just 75 miles down the road to a little town called Sayasora, we find a medieval monastery that houses a very interesting wall painting that seems to depict, well, I'll let you be the judge of this one. Anyway, thought that was interesting and felt like sharing, because let's just be honest here. Pretty sure most of us are on board with the whole UFOs are real thing, right? Right. So, let me ask you something. If they're here now, is it possible they were here then? And maybe, just maybe, the Wedge of Aiud is just some shit they left behind.